Why are the 10 commandments so powerful? Because they are set in stone. Why aren't you laughing? They don't laugh. Hi there, this is Matt Sierra and this is the very new episode of the Business 2.0. This program when we think about how to earn more, how to spend in a more intelligent way, and how to just have a better life. And today we're gonna talk about richness. This is the very popular topic around the internet. Everyone would like to be rich, not only rich in vitamins, but generally speaking, everyone would like to be rich. But it is not quite simple. As you probably know, as you see the world where 99% of the people are just not rich. So what's the solution? Well, I can't give you some solution which will be the guarantee. I can't guarantee you that you will be rich one day because unfortunately it doesn't work this way. There is no certainty. You always have to maintain some rules and some kind of lifestyle in order to make the possibilities of getting rich higher, but there will never be 100%. Of course, in the long run, it's not a problem because nowadays most of us are kind of rich because we've got cars, we've got possibility to sleep somewhere, and we're not dying out of hunger probably. So we're kind of rich, all of us. But today, of course, we're gonna talk about richness, meaning pretty great cars, pretty great homes, or just the possibility to secure yourself and your family, or even work less, or even not work, although I don't consider it a smart solution. But anyway, so right now we know there's no guarantees, but I don't want to talk in the coaching way. Yeah, like you're gonna attract money, you're gonna get rich if you believe it. Those things are shitty things. I don't believe them because I believe in hard work, in smart work, and in some rules related to money, which you have to follow in order to get this money. And among those rules are not rules like thinking about the money all the time, attracting it with the power of my heart. Of course, it's always better to think in a positive way that, yeah, I believe that I'm gonna be rich, instead of I believe that I'm nothing, I'm a failure. But still, I guess it's better to get down to earth, yeah, and to think about the things that are really working here, the rules that we can implement. But of course, the question is, how do you know those rules? Do they really exist? And well, in theory, everyone can say something. Yeah, you can read 10 books about richness, about rich people, etc. But you're not quite sure if the author's experience is something worthy, if the author is really rich, or maybe he got rich selling the books about getting rich. So it's not as easy. So what helps me personally much more is getting to know rich people. And I've interviewed a lot of them, hundreds of them. I know a lot of millionaires personally because I've got the biggest channel related to business in my country. So I have the great opportunity, and I hope that this channel in English will also be pretty popular in the future. So I also hope to meet more American millionaires, English millionaires, but I've met a lot of European millionaires, and I see that there are rules. Not always those rules are pretty conscious. Like those people not always are conscious of using those rules, but they use them. And I see that almost all of the rich people that I personally know use all or almost all of the 10 commandments of richness that I will share with you today. So this is not some theoretical stuff that I've made up preparing this episode, but this is something that I've observed in my life, meeting rich people, and I've started living by those commandments myself, and I've seen the result, the increase of possibilities, the increase of the quality and size of my businesses, the expansion, international expansion, because those rich guys told me, not always directly, like, look, Matt, do this and this, but sometimes it was between the lines, yeah, talking to them, and for them something was obvious, yeah, like it is obvious for them that whether you work with passion or you just waste your time. It is obvious for them, but it's not as obvious for everyone. So there are those things, those rules, and I will share with you those rules today, so you could follow them and check if it's gonna change something in your life. And I'm pretty sure that even if those rules by themselves, because it's, 1 hour episode, I can't change your life, yeah, in 1 hour time, but I can share with you something which can help a little, and then step by step, little by little, you're gonna change something in your life. And even if there's not gonna be the day when you get really rich, but I guess your situation, your financial situation, but not only, will get better. So even if the end goal will not be millions and millions of dollars, but your life, your financial life will definitely get better, and that's something that I can really guarantee. So the first rule, you shall work with passion. In one of the following episodes, I'm gonna tell you more about the Japanese philosophy called Ikigai, which consists of 4 questions related to the business, but also to classic full-time job, which you should pose to yourself before starting the business, before starting the job, because this is pretty important thing. We spend lots of hours working for someone else or in our companies, but still this is the main part of our lifetime, which means that it should be nice. And there are 4 questions, 4 matters, 4 parts of Ikigai strategy which you should follow. And one of them, because I'm not gonna waste your time speaking about 4, because there's gonna be another episode about the totality of the strategy. But one of those things is working with passion. Like, your business doesn't have any sense if you don't work with passion. And it's not a kind of magical thinking, like work with passion, like I'm your coach right now, yeah? You should work with your passion, you should feel great about what you're doing, because then you've got better energy and you attract better things. No, it's much more, it's much easier to grasp. Working with passion means that you work more and you work better. And working more and working better means that you're better in the market, which means that you earn more. As simple as that. Imagine this theoretical situation, that you made some tax mistake. Like, you've counted some money in a bad way, and probably you're in trouble. You're in trouble, tax office calls you and wants something from you, and you've got to explain yourself, and that was a pretty serious mistake, and you should have avoided, but you haven't, so you're in trouble. And right now, you need a lawyer. You need a lawyer who's gonna defend you, who's gonna explain everything to the tax office, so they wouldn't give you some pretty huge fine, which would put you into bankruptcy. So, you've got 2 lawyers to choose from. The first one is the passionate one. The guy who reads all the rules all the time, who's following the law, the new regulations all the time. He was always thinking about defending people in court. That's his passion. He's sitting long hours in his office because that's his life. He's the lawyer, yeah. He feels like the lawyers and the great guy who defends people. Or you can choose another guy who's also the lawyer, but he's the lawyer because his father was a lawyer. So his father told him, be the lawyer because they pay well. You've got kind of social respect, yeah, being a lawyer, yeah, it's always like you're kind of good guy, like intelligent, smart, with money, so you've got social respect. That's why he forced himself into being a lawyer. He wished something else for him, like he would prefer to play the guitar, to create some guitar band and maybe sing and have concerts. But he knew that this kind of artistic way is much more hard to foresee what's gonna happen. That's why he finally studied law and he ended it, and right now he's a lawyer. So he's the lawyer because he wants to earn money and he knows that it works this way. Which one would you choose? Which one is probably the best one here? It's pretty obvious that the passionate lawyer is better lawyer than the not passionate lawyer, yeah, because one has passion, which means that he stays long hours and he just knows more because he's much more interested. He's much more probable to implement some kind of original solutions, atypical things in his work. And the guy who lacks passion will just do the stuff. And that's the case with everything, yeah? The same with doctors. Like, if you needed some surgery, I hope you're not gonna need one. But if you need it, then of course the passionate doctor, surgeon would be the best bet. It works this way. That's why when we have, for example, our Institute of Linguistics and we teach languages, then it explains why it works so well, that we had pretty good success in my country. Then we added additional countries. That's why we're heading towards US right now in order to teach languages also here. And we consist only of language maniacs, of people who work long hours thinking about languages, learning languages and teaching languages afterwards. Every single member of our staff speaks at least 2 languages. Some of them speak 5, 6, because they are maniacs, and we hire only maniacs. That's why then our courses, our seminars are so good, because we consist only maniacs. We don't work because we thought, yeah, language market is pretty huge market, so we should sell language courses. Of course, that's part of the Ikigai strategy also, that you have to be where the money is, because without it, you would be screwed. But the main part is that you have to be where your heart is. And my heart is in the language world. That's why I'm even so crazy to create a channel abroad and speaking all the time, not my native language, which I'm doing right now, and practice it all the time because it's just pure fun for me. That's why we've got this kind of success. That's why it's also fun for me to talk about business, because I've got a few companies, maybe not a lot of, but a few companies. So I've got some experience to share with you. And that's why it's also fun for me. And that's why it's better, because I spend more hours and I invest more energy into it, because those are my passions, business and languages. And every one of us has his own passions. Probably it's not possible to monetize each and every passion, because there are some passions that are just, impossible or almost impossible to monetize. There are some things that should just be our passions. But the case is that if you spend at least 8 hours working per day, which is 40 hours per week, and if you're an entrepreneur, you're working probably even more, like 60 hours even, then you need much more passion, because it's more than half of your life, of your day, yeah? Like if you're awake 16 hours per day and you spend at least 8 hours working, at least, plus commuting and so on. So it means that more than 50% of your life would be wasted if you did something which you complain about. Of course, every passion has its disadvantages, yeah? Like every time, like it's pretty much obvious to me that when I'm started recording my program in foreign languages, not my own, I'm always stressed in the beginning. And probably you could notice it in the very first 5 minutes, for example. So this is kind of disadvantage. So I can't say that this is 100% passion and good emotions. But it's not about good emotions. It's about, well, it is, but it's about 90 or 85% of good emotions and then some kind of disadvantages. And most people work in the place when they've got 85% of bad emotions and then some kind of, well, this is some kind of interruption, like I'm having coffee during the lunch break and this is the best part of my job. Yeah, some person could say that. And that's not the solution. Yeah. So you should work with passion because it directly and in the very logical way increases the chances that one day you're gonna get rich because you're gonna spend long hours, you're gonna know more, you're gonna invest more energy because this is something that you would probably do anyway. Even if they didn't pay you, you would still do it. Yeah, like me with languages. Even if I don't see any possibility in establishing some kind of market in some country, but I like its language, then I learn this language because, yeah, that's just pure fun. So, and maybe one day even there will be some business opportunities also, but I guess that's not the best, the main part. And that's the best of it. Yeah, that you work with passion, then you get paid for it. Because everyone prefers passionate people than dull guys who just do what they do because they were supposed to do it. Because they think that they should or something like this. So that is the first commandment. The second commandment, you shall be ambitious because you've got only one life. Yeah, so we're here. Nowadays, we tend to forget the pretty brutal fact that our life one day will just end. You will die. I know that you wouldn't expect it to hear such the things, especially in the business channel, business show, but that's the truth. It really helps understanding it, or rather, well, everyone understands it, but remembering it helps in business. Although maybe it sounds crazy, but it's not. Because if you really realize that you've got one life, it's gonna end. Well, some think that they've got a lot of lives, yeah, that they will reincarnate again and again. And of course, even if that's true, it's hard to determine, but even if that's true, then still, this one life, in this one body, in this one place when you're in right now, is gonna end, for sure, 100%. So the time here is limited. And of course, we all wish for ourselves the good, healthy, long life, but still, even if you cross the line of 100 years, then you're gonna be dead. So, and some of us, unfortunately, will be dead by tomorrow. Of course, I hope that it's not gonna be you and me either. So that's it. The life is limited. And why to remember it all the time, even on a daily basis? I think about death every single day. And I'm not well, I am crazy, but not in this particular topic. I'm not thinking about death like death, the great thing of life. But I'm just thinking like being aware of it. Yeah, I'm 37 and well, I can double it probably, but I can't triple it. It's not gonna be possible. So anyway, one day I'm gonna be dead. So there's no right moment for changes in the future. If you really want to change something in your life, you have to start now. Of course, I'm not trying to convince you that if you've got the job you hate, you should just get rid of it and call your boss, go eat shit, you mother. No, because there has to be some logic in your actions. Yeah, I mean, firing yourself tomorrow and not having money to pay your bills in a week is not kind of solution, and it doesn't sound like a helpful thing to do. Yeah, so you've got to plan for things to happen, but I guess the main thing, which is action, is happening right now. So you got to start doing something today, because there's no time. Maybe not firing yourself from your workplace, but searching for some better job in the meantime, or setting up your company, searching for your clients, not tomorrow, not in a week. Those are the things that you can start today in order for them to be successful one day. If you postpone those things all the time, because one day I'm gonna be much more self-confident, one day the opportunities will be better in the world, in the market, and so on, that's a shitty solution. That's not a solution. That's a failure. People are afraid of failures, not knowing that not trying is the only failure. Because if you try and you just don't succeed, it's not a failure. It's just part of the business. Yeah, like thinking that every single business should be successful is like thinking some crazy stuff which doesn't concern the real life. Yeah, the real life is learning, and failing. But in the reality, those failures are just lessons, are just feedback which you have in order to get better the next time. So those are necessary parts of the process. That's why you can't complain about them. You can only complain about you not starting. That's why you should be ambitious. You should have ambitions. If you think that your very great dream is to give some kind of original lumi messages, because that's your passion, helping people with your hands, then you should go for it, or at least try. Then you will know. From time to time, you will try something which you dreamt of for years, and you will see after 1 hour of doing it that, no, I don't want to continue it. That's not really my passion. That's why it's so important. But you should have ambition. You should dream big, as they say. But really, if you've got something which is interesting to you, then you should start believing it, that you're gonna make money of it. Of course, we'll see if you're really gonna make money from it, but you should at least try, and you should have this belief inside you that it's gonna happen, and have ambitions. Yeah, ambitions make your life always going forward. Yeah, like I don't have any particular need in creating the American channel like this one, and speaking English, which is which is not my native language. But it's not a problem, because I want to go forward. I want to, as they say, go out of the comfort zone and do something new, get scrutinized, get judged, yeah, by the market, if they really want it or not, or maybe I'm not necessary here. So that's how it works, and this is part of life, doing the next steps. And if you're living like, I've got a job which is shitty but safe, I've got a house which is shitty but it stands there, well, this is kind of pointless solution. Yeah, like you're gonna die one day, and what? Then you will say, well, you will not say anything after you die, but before you will think, what? Like, I wasted so many years. I waited for some appropriate moment to do stuff, to change life, to appreciate the possibilities. There are plenty of them in every single place on this earth. There are plenty of possibilities, because an entrepreneur is the person who brings the opportunities with himself, because it's kind of watching the opportunities glasses. Yeah, like when you put them on, you see the opportunities everywhere. Like they are really infinite. Even if you live in Angola or in US, in China, there are plenty of possibilities, opportunities. They are different in every single place, but there are a lot of them. And there are successful people in all the places in the world. Somewhere it's pretty tougher. Yeah, like North Korea, probably it's much tougher. But still there are some rich guys in North Korea. The way is different than do business. Probably the way is to be the main guy's friend. But still, there is the way. So there is always the way. That's why you've got to have this ambition. You've got to have your plans. Your plans should be on paper, not only in your mind. And those plans should be as big to motivate you all the time. Yeah, that you see the vision. Yeah, like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Maybe even it's not probable, not likely to happen, but it sounds so fun that I want to work for it, that I want to do it every single day in order to do my best, yeah? So you should have your ambition. You should have your goals, written goals, and ambitious goals. The third commandment is, you shall not exchange your time for money. So everyone begins, or almost everyone begins this way, that he is hired somewhere and they pay him. They pay him $5 an hour, $10 an hour, $20 per hour, or in some countries, $2 per day, per 8 hours or 10 hours. There are various possibilities, of course, but still, most people in the world exchange their time for money. And it has its disadvantage, because your time is limited, as I had said before. So you've got only a couple of hours per day. You could be the workaholic, of course, and work like Elon Musk between 80 and 120 hours per week. But I guess that's not the best solution. But still, you're never gonna be able to work 1,000 hours per week. Which means that if you think that if I earn $10 per hour, so the best way to earn 1,000 times more is work 1,000 times more, then there's no logic, yeah? Because it's just impossible. Which means that there has to be some different solution. Because even this Elon Musk, even if he works 3 times more than you, because you work, for example, 40 hours, he works 120 hours per week. So the question is, if Elon earns 3 times more than you, because probably, well, Elon earns thousands of times more than me, but he can't really work thousands of times more than me, because he doesn't have 100 hours day. So there has to be some different solution. Exchanging hours per money has sense only if you charge a lot. If you're the great expert in the topic, yeah, like you're a lawyer, yeah, like this is the example that we get back to. You're a lawyer, you're a pretty good one, and you charge because you only defend the big guys, and you charge $1,000 per hour. Yeah, that means that working per hours is gonna make you rich. But this is the toughest solutions. The toughest solution, or at least the harder, because you've got 2 solutions for getting rich. One is exchanging time for money, but only if you're the great expert which can charge a lot. This is a pretty hard one, and that's why I rather discourage people to do it, because, well, 99.9% of the people will never reach this point. So there's another solution. Scale up, not with your time, but with your product, with your service, doing the things that could be multiplied. I mean, for example, I've written a couple of books. None of them are in the English market yet, but probably they will be one day. So I can print 1,000 books if needed. Yeah, like people want to buy my book, so I print my 1,000. But then a lot more people want to buy them, so I print another 10,000. What do I have to do in order to multiply the number of my book by 10? Definitely not working 10 times more. Just call in the printing office and tell them, print 10,000 pieces more. And that's all. That's all of my work that I have to do, and I earn 10 times more, because I'm not selling my time, I'm selling my book. The same is in my Institute of Linguistics, when we sell online language courses. That's why they are online, because I don't want organize some class or book some hotel room and book some professors who will come there and teach, and limit myself to the number of clients limited by the number of citizens of a particular city or country. I want to go worldwide and I want to scale up infinitely. That's why I have to prepare online courses which I invest in my money and time in the beginning, but then they will earn on a daily basis all the time. And probably even when I'm recording this video right now and I'm not physically nor even mentally in my Institute of Linguistics, it earns. It sells the courses, language courses in 3 countries, and it gets bigger and bigger, so it works. That's why it works, because we're not selling my time. Yeah, that's a pretty important stuff. That's why this is the way you should think about your business. Thinking about the products or services which can work without you. Yeah, that's why Elon Musk is so rich, because he sells cars. He doesn't need to produce them, to manufacture them by himself. So he can limit himself to only 120 hours per week and still earn a lot more. Because even if he goes on holiday, he's gonna earn millions of dollars during this holiday. Why? Because he doesn't sell his time. He sells his products, cars and so on, batteries maybe, solar panels also. So in the future he's gonna earn a lot organizing some cosmic trips. So that's it. Why Bill Gates is one of the richest guy in the world? Because he doesn't sell his time, he sells his products, his services, his software. Yeah. Why Jeff Bezos is one of the richest guy on the planet? Because he sells the platform and physical products and cloud storage and so on, not Jeff Bezos's time. That's the solution. So do you really think that it's it just happens by the way that all the people from the list of Forbes 100 richest people in your country, in the world, whatever, that they are always people not working per hours, not exchanging their hours per money? Is this by accident? Or maybe it just works this way, that you have to sell something else than your time? Then you should even stop this video and think about what could be your product. Even if you like exchange your time per money, because for example you give those messages and that's your passion, you like to do it, then maybe, just maybe, you could add some more scalable products. Yeah, some book about health, some video course, some workshops, some various different things, and still doing messages, but maybe not as many, maybe a bit more expensive, because you would limit 100 messages to 20 per month. You would be probably happier with that, because you would have less clients, so your arms wouldn't be so fatigued and so on. And you could invest some time in different products and you would have all those things connected. That's why it works this way. That's why also I'm not giving a lecture in some physical place right now, because the scale would be too limited. YouTube is unlimited, and this video probably will exist even in 10 years, and maybe I will just find some clients for my future products which I haven't even invented yet in my head. But this video could sell them in 10 years from now. That's thinking about scalability. And I guess if you really want to get rich, you should, or rather you have to, go this way. Whether trying be an expert and selling stuff really, selling really an expensive hour with you, or go in the easier way, the most frequent way, and creating the product or service which is much more scalable, which is much more duplicable, I would call it this way. Okay, let's go on. The fourth commandment is you shall not use consumption credits. Credits for your own personal needs, or rather greeds, wants. Well, this is something strange about our civilization, that we live in a world where using credit seems a normal thing to do. And no one, or almost no one, tells you that it's just pure stupidity. That's why I'm here, to tell you that it's just stupid. I'm not saying about credits for some kind of investments, although I avoid them all. So I don't even invest with credits because I just don't feel like doing so. I don't feel like owning something to someone. It's just a pretty shitty mental position for me. So I wanna avoid it. But someone would argue that, of course, to have some kind of company, for example, logistics company with 20 lorries, you need to have credits, because without them, it's almost impossible to buy 20 lorries for cash. Of course, it would be possible to gather some money, to save money for a couple of months or even years to buy the first lorry and then expand with time. But I can understand that for some entrepreneurs, it would be just waste of time. I can also understand that most of people who want to have their own home have to have the mortgage, because it's impossible, or almost impossible, for most of the world to do it without it. Yeah, because it's just too expensive. It's just impossible to save so huge amount of money to buy a home. So I could understand it, although it would be also advisable to pay the mortgage as soon as possible. Yeah, so not pay in the schedule, but pay in advance as much as possible. Anytime if you have some kind of additional money, you should use them, or rather I would use them to pay the mortgage. That's why I paid my mortgage in 4 years, because I couldn't stand the vision of being in debt for so many years, for half of my lifetime, for example. And if you've got the possibility, then I guess you should go for it also. But, so those are two kind of logical credit types, yeah, like mortgage and investments. But all the rest, having a credit card, buying the new iPhone, using not your cash, not your own money, but the bank's money, going on holidays, using credit cards, on using just borrowing money from your friend or from your mom, those things are always and always stupid. There's no logical reason to do it. Of course, someone would say, but if I use my credit card, I would earn some 2% of cashback or some coupons or some other unnecessary shit which doesn't really change anything. Because the truth is that credit card is not a product for human being. You should just cut them, you should just destroy them and shit on them in the end. That's what you should do. And that's what I did. Well, without the last element, really. I only cut them and get rid of them. I wouldn't advise you to shit on them, because your family would call the ambulance, probably seeing you doing such the things. But credit card is not something that you need. You should really you could really live without them. You could travel without them. You could lend the cars without using this kind of card, because right now, almost anywhere in the world, you can use your debit card to borrow the cars, for example, to pay for Airbnb or hotels, for example. So you don't really need it. There's no logical explanation. There's only this emotional one, yeah? The emotional one that I could have this new iPhone tomorrow, not in 6 months or 1 year when it's not gonna be new anymore. Of course, but it's a strange thing about our civilization. You know, in ancient Rome, the big guys, the senators, organized some kind of a party when they invited young boys of 10 to 12 years, and they've drank a lot of alcohol, and then they've just abused them. calling it in a pretty nice way, because the truth is that they just were raping the guys. So that was stupid. Yeah, although we say that ancient Rome was the huge civilization, great one, yeah, the great part of human history, but it had the disadvantage, which was really shitty one, which was crazy. And we don't accept such the things today, which is great about our civilization, but it doesn't mean that our civilization is perfect, because it's not. It has its own illnesses, mental illnesses, and one of them is credit, is consumption done by credit. I'm not saying that you should avoid nice cars, because it would be like illogical. Yeah, the guy in Rolls Royce telling you to avoid the good cars. Yeah, it would be kind of incongruency. So I wish you the best cars in the world. I wish you even to get 10 times richer than me. Because for example, I'm not able to buy my own jet, but I wish you to buy your own jet. Yeah, that's what I really, from the bottom of my heart, wish to you all. But I wish you to buy them for cash, not with credits, leasing, other strange, shitty stuff. So if you really want to get rich, you should avoid credit cards. You should avoid borrowing money from your family, for your friends, because you're gonna lose money and friends and family, and also probably your health, by the way. So it doesn't have any sense. Although everyone does it, because that's the illness, not the only one, but one of the main ones, the illness of this civilization, that so many people think that using credit card is smart. Well, it isn't. It's just pure stupidity. Always, ever. You should remember that. And then you start thinking in a different way. When I want to have a new iPhone, it's nothing wrong about my desire, but I have to think about the future. Yeah. So what do I have to do in order to save the cash for it? What do I have to do? Work more, or work smarter, or create a new product? If I have a dream and I would like to have a Ferrari, for example, what do I have to do in the future? I'm thinking about the future, because today I can't afford it, for example. So I have to think about the future. What changes to implement in my possible future in order to buy a Ferrari one day? And then you start thinking about bigger money, about better job, better salary, better own company, better products, better services, better scalability. Because without it, you're never gonna build it. That's why I'm thinking about my own private jet. Not because this is my biggest dream and without accomplish it during my lifetime, I'm gonna be unhappy, because I'm very happy. And even if I'm not gonna have my own jet ever in the future, I'm still gonna be happy. But this jet is kind of symbol. Like, I have to think about so huge money and thinking about it all the time. Yeah, like how to buy a jet one day. I still don't know. I still haven't figured it out. But it doesn't matter. What matters is that every single day I have better ideas for my products, for my business, because there's kind of jet, yeah? It could be a metaphorical jet, like some huge goal which drives you passionate and which drives you thinking, which puts you into thinking about the really good life. And credits is destroying the future, because then in order to buy something, you can do nothing, because you can just use your credit card and pay for it and you have it already. But then in the future, you'll have to work for it, because anyway, you've got to pay it off. Yeah, so we've gotta work for it in the future, so you're spending your future. So imagine this difference, yeah? One guy is thinking that about the jet in the future, and the other one is thinking about the shitty future of working hard in order to pay the things that he already had in the past. What a motivation. Well, it's pretty much motivating to work in order to get money to buy a new iPhone. So the new iPhone is your future. For example, I'm not in any collaboration with Apple, so no, it's not a kind of publicity. You can exchange it for any other phone model, but it's pretty much more exciting to have a great car or great phone in the future than to have the hard work in order to pay your debts under some kind of threats of repossession or something in your future. What is the difference? Huge one. That's why people who are in debts are stressed out, are unhappy. From time to time they get into some depression, and they have a lot of anxiety. So is this really the life? Yeah, you have fun with this new phone or car for a couple of weeks, and then you get back to reality, and the reality means paying back the debt for 3 hours or 10 hours, 10 days, years, and unfortunately. So 3 years or 10 years, for example. So this is the shitty solution. That's why if you stop considering the credit for your own consumption, the accessible tool, if really it wouldn't exist if it didn't exist in the world, your world would be just better, because you would have to think it through how to make so much money in order to accomplish my dreams if I live in the world without credits right now. I never met a person who paid off her debts and said, "What a shitty feeling, I don't have any debt to be paid." No one calls me, no one threatens me, no one tells me that he's gonna kill me or put me in some database of screwed people. What a shitty feeling. I just wake up and I've got cash, and now no one's gonna take it from me. No, I have never met such a person. But I have met a lot of people who told me, "Shit, Matt, when I took this debt, when I got into this debt, I was sure that everything was gonna be alright, that I had a pretty good job and nothing could go wrong. And after some time, right now I'm here in front of you, completely screwed, depressed, with a lot of anxiety and without a will to just live, to go on." And so why is it that? Yeah, that people with debts say this thing, and people without debts are just stressless, happy, and just more appreciating the reality. That's the truth. Although the huge companies, the huge banks will tell you exactly the otherwise. They will, maybe some of them will even post some comment under this video and feel invited to do it. But still, the truth is, there's always, or almost always, the truth existing there. Although there are plenty of things which are relative, but here there's no relativity, whether you're in debt or you're doing the right thing to do. That's the question. Yeah, that's the. There are only two possibilities: you use credit card, or you're smart. Two possibilities, no more. No relative solutions. No 7 conditions. It's just like this, and you'll see that it changes everything. Just implementing this one commandment will change your whole life. Maybe not tomorrow, but in weeks or months or years, but it will. It just will. Okay, let's go on. You shall not fight by changing the price, by lowering the price. What I mean, there are plenty of entrepreneurs in the world, and when they begin creating something, they begin producing something or setting up some service, they think that the great strategy, that the best one, is to lower the price. So let's check out the competition, the market, and let's do something cheaper, and then I'm gonna get rich. Well, you're not gonna get rich this way, because in order to get rich, you've got to have the scale. Yeah, you've got to sell a lot of pieces of something. In order to sell a lot of pieces, you need to have pretty good promotion, marketing, and all those stuff. Facebook ads, Google ads, and so on. Maybe YouTube channel, maybe TikTok. You've got to invest a lot of time, a shitload of money in order to sell thousands of pieces of your product, even if it's a great product. Which means that you have to earn more in order not only to pay the cost of your living with your product or company, but also to have additional money to pay for your future marketing. But if you think you're smart enough and you're gonna lower the price in order to be the cheapest guy on the market, although it doesn't sound so sexy, but so let's imagine you're the cheapest guy on the market. It doesn't mean that everyone in the market knows you, that your clients know about you, because you still have to reach them somehow. But how if you don't have any money? Because if they buy your products, if some people buy your products, you've got some money to cover the costs of production, maybe to book some additional part of the product and pay your home, for example, pay your rent, and that's it. And if you position yourself and your product as a premium product, then you can really have additional money, because you can sell it in a more expensive way, and then you can buy more products to have them in your warehouse, to have a lot of storage. You can pay your rent, and still there's money left. And you're gonna use this money to promote yourself in a smarter way, to create your huge traffic for your webpage, to create your brand, to look better, to show your business in a better way, and so on. You could argue that, of course, there are some companies like Walmart who sell cheap products and still they earn in millions. This is true, but they are spending millions also. In the first place, they start with spending millions. That's why they can create such a huge chain of stores and then do the publicity, and that's why everyone knows them. And only that's why everyone knows them. So, selling cheap stuff is for the richest. One day, if I'm a super rich guy with millions of dollars on my bank account, I will be able to afford selling cheap stuff. Selling the cheapest language courses in the market, selling the cheapest books on the market. But right now, I just can't afford it, because I would just go bankrupt, or I would just survive. And you don't open your own company to survive, because, well, survival you should learn from Bear Grylls if you're interested in survival. But if you're an entrepreneur, you should learn how to be the best one. Yeah, and being the best one means that you don't compete with price, but you compete with quality, with additional service, with customer experience, with so many other things. I've got a gym in my home city, in my country. I've got a gym. I bought it during the pandemics because they couldn't afford to go on during the lockdown. So I offered them to buy it, and I bought it, and I changed it into the first gym for entrepreneurs in my country. I've also added some additional value, some other stuff, like it's one of the gyms when you don't have to take anything with you, because we've got all the clothes for you. So we've got the pretty healthy filtered water for you. We've got coffee. We've got everything. So you don't have to take anything with you. You just enter. You don't have this excuse that, well, I forgot my shorts, I forgot my shirt. Yeah, I just can't do it, because you can enter my gym in the suit, then you can switch the clothes into our gym clothes, and you just leave them, and we're gonna wash them later, and so on. So this is the perfect additional value. And this is one of the most expensive gyms in the whole country. Of course, it's easier for me to do it if this is my business number, I don't know, 7, 8. Yeah, like this is not my survival. So it's easier to experiment this way. But this kind of experiment almost always ends in earning a lot of money, because you create something premium. So you should be premium. Yeah, I mean, your price should be pretty high, but you could have this excuse. Yeah, how should I get up? How should I make my price higher without changing anything? And the answer is you have to change something. Yeah, like you've got to create this additional value. You just can't go up with prices and thinking that it's okay. It's gonna be okay if you add something for it. Yeah, like I said, with my gym membership, which is pretty expensive, but we add additional value, and that's why we don't have to compete by price. We compete by customer experience. Our clients are pretty happy. They are having coffee with us. They are meeting other entrepreneurs and making even some deals with them, because when they get to know each other, we organize some parties there of entrepreneurs and so on. So this is the additional value, and that's why I know I can charge them more, because I give them more. And I'm gonna do it in every single business in my life. Whatever I'm gonna sell, I'm gonna set up maybe not huge price, but pretty high price, and then I'm gonna think it through. What should I add in order to justify it, in order to fulfill the need? Like, I will solve more problems with my product or service, and that's why they will pay me more. So logical. And that's why I'm never gonna compete with price, because I had done it in the past, and it was always like I have some money to survive, but never I have enough money to fulfill my dreams. Yeah, with cash. Yeah, so I used credits in order to fulfill my dreams, and I got into shit. So that's it. That's how it works. Which brings us the next commandment, which is, you shall not believe that the quality will defend itself. Some entrepreneurs, especially those who begin, think that their product or service is so good that it will defend itself in the market. Yeah, that they will not need to make any move into the world of marketing, promotion, Facebook ads, and so on. This is absurd. I already have said something about it earlier, but I'm gonna repeat. Yeah, this is absurd. Because right now we live in the world of abundance. You could have any car in the world. There is any single possibility. You could have any great phone, any great photo camera if you need. You could have everything. Just everything. Yeah, you're not starving probably. So we live in the world of abundance, which is great. But also it creates some problems for entrepreneurs who sell services, because it means that creating a good product is not gonna be sufficient. It's gonna be just the necessary first step. Like, it's a minimum condition in order to survive in the market, that you don't create shit, that you create something which is really good. But it's never enough. It's just the first step. And then marketing, promotion, all those stuff, sales. So you should stop believing only in your product or service. You will have to sell it to help it be sold. Yeah, so you will have to have your sales team, or invest some money into Facebook ads, Google ads, some promotion, some branding. Maybe you will have to create your own TikTok channel in order to brand yourself as a name, which is the face of the company, like I'm doing in my country, being the face of my Institute of Linguistics. So that's it. You have to do it. You have to start believing in sales and promotion and marketing, because without it, you're gonna be screwed. With it, you're gonna earn a lot of money, and all the big companies, all the rich guys sell. They sell. All the time they sell. In various ways, using different techniques, different methods, different platforms. Some of them are using every single platform, like all in massive action, but they do something all the time. They invest their money and time into marketing. So it's pretty important. Okay, commandment number 7. You shall create the team and share your tasks. Even if you see the success, which seems the success of one man, like you see Tesla and you think Elon Musk, you see Apple and you think Steve Jobs. This is only the perception. This is not the truth. The truth is that without those people, hundreds of people or even thousands of them, Steve Jobs and Elon Musk would just be screwed. Of course, they are leaders, so they are, well, in case of Steve Jobs, he was. So there are plenty of leaders here in the world who have a great battery charger. Yeah, so they send a lot of energy to their workers. They give a lot of faith in their teams, into their teams. But still, without those teams, they would be no one. They would be nothing. That's the truth. And that's why I know that people sometimes tell me that, well, this Institute of Linguistics is so successful. You get so many possibilities, so bright, so many bright ideas. But the truth is that it's because of those more or less 50 people all around the world who work with us and with me, and that's why it works. Without those great people, it just wouldn't work. And even if you're a fan of some music band, and you always remember the main guy, the frontman, well, the frontman still wouldn't exist without all the rest of the band. Although it seems that he's the main part of the band, because maybe he's the leader there, but still the band would be nothing without all the team members there. And it's just impossible to be successful and to be rich without the team. There is this kind of shitty story popular right now that I've achieved everything by myself. When I hear such a story, such a person, I'm throwing out. Literally. I'm chundering. I'm vomiting. Yeah, like, this, what a bullshit. It's impossible in this world to achieve anything by yourself. Well, literally you can shit by yourself, but if you're saying about money, about success, it's always teamwork. And it's not some kind of some nice thing to say in order to be popular, but it's just the pure reality. If you hear someone saying that he achieved everything by himself, then, well, you should go away from this person, because it seems that he or she doesn't appreciate all the work done by his teammates, all the work done even by his ancestors. Yeah, because you could open up your company and appreciate in the free market because of your ancestors who brought it here, who brought here those possibilities. Because if not them, you would be screwed. You would be in some North Korea and it would be a bit harder. Maybe it would still be possible, but it would be really harder. So we should appreciate other people, and some part of those other people are our workers and co-workers. And you will never achieve richness, success without people. Some entrepreneurs would even appreciate other people, but they believe that they should do something, anything by themselves. Yeah, so beginning entrepreneurs think I should do my own web page by myself. I should organize my Facebook campaign by myself. I should, do customer service by myself. Yes, so I should answer the phones, the phone calls, and so on. Which may be true in the first weeks of the company if you don't have money. Yeah, if you're broke, so you can't hire people. But the very first moment when you see some money, you should hire people. You should start hiring people and delegate, outsource your tasks. Because without it, you're never gonna achieve anything that matters. Yeah. So without people, it's not gonna work. So if you believe that you're gonna do anything in the best possible way, and always in a better way than other people would do it, then you're believing in a lie. That's not true. There are plenty of people who would do much better web page than you would. There are plenty of people in the world who will organize 10 times better Facebook campaign that you would, even after you invest 10,000 hours in learning Facebook. There are still people who will do it 10 times better than you, because there are things which are your passion, which you could be good at, and there are things that you should avoid, that you should just avoid. And for me, it's like Facebook promotion. It's something that I should personally avoid. That's why I've got people who understand it, who understand this platform, which I personally hate. Yeah, I hate Facebook. That's the truth. So I don't fully understand this platform. But I've got people who do, and they do it. They do it perfectly, and we earn a lot of money on Facebook using Facebook, and that's the reality. Yeah, you should use the superpowers of other people, because your superpowers are limited, and they have different superpowers. So it's pretty important, and you should learn how to outsource mentally and technically also, because it means creating procedures, learning how to manage people, and so on. But I'm gonna talk to you about those things in next episode. So you're gonna have this knowledge here for free. So just stay tuned. Okay, let's go. The 8th commandment is you shall secure yourself. There's a story that says that the more risk you take, the richer you get. Listen to me now. This is bullshit. If you want to have great risks, then go to Afghanistan, find the most aggressive guys there, and tell them, America is ruling the world. You should be like America. So this is the huge risk. So you should get rich. Yeah. This is much riskier than getting into the comfortable car and creating the business channel. Where's the risk here? Almost nothing. Yeah, I risked some money, of course, but it's nothing comparing to the story that I gave you right now. Yeah. So where's the risk? The risk in business is in theory. You should avoid the risk. You should take the risks, but only the moderate ones. Of course, if you want to be as huge as Elon Musk, yeah, sending people to Mars one day, maybe it contains taking huge risks, like sending out some rocket with people, and the people could get killed, yeah, during the launch. This is the huge risk. But if you don't have such ambition, and I don't personally have such ambition to be as rich and famous as Elon Musk, then I don't have to take such risks in order to get enough rich for my standards. Yeah, I don't want to get as rich. It's gonna be enough to just have everything secured, every needs fulfilled, and so on. So that's enough for me, and that's it. And you don't have to take huge risks to do it. That's why you should have limited company in order to avoid bankruptcy if something goes wrong. You should think about dividing your money from your spouse's money. If one gets down, then the other can help. And if you've got your common money, then drowning the husband, for example, could destroy also the financial situation of the wife. Yeah, so that would be shitty. That's why you should visit the lawyer and prepare all the documents in order to secure your family, secure your company, and you really don't need to take huge risks in order to earn. The very real risks in business are those which are really only in your head, in your brain. Like this is the huge risk that I open the American channel. I'm speaking not my native language here, and I think that maybe one day, just maybe one day, I am gonna sell my products on this market also. It can work, it can also fail, but really the risk is more theoretical than practical, yeah? Because in theory, what do I really risk? Someone's gonna kill me? Like, oh Matt, you told me to cut my credit card and I feel like killing you. Rather not. Maybe someone will post a comment that you're stupid. I'm working for the bank and they told us that you're stupid, that people should avoid listening to you because they will not buy our products. Maybe someone will tell me your English is not perfect. Shame on you. Well, that would be true, and so on. What's more? And even if this whole idea fails, I'm gonna sell the car, probably with even some kind of gain, and that's it. So the risk is only mental. That's why you probably shouldn't put yourself into great credits when you start up the company and buy the most expensive furniture for your office, and even having the office for in the beginning is not a good idea. And that's it. That's why you rather should take moderate risks instead of trying to kill you with your business. That's a pretty important thing. The very next thing, the 9th commandment, is to be obsessed about the customer happiness. Customer's happiness is your very first thing. That's something that I took from Jeff Bezos, who always tells us about it. Of course, some would argue that maybe he's just lying because he wants to be popular with this attitude in Amazon. But I guess I bought plenty of times something on Amazon, and I was pretty convinced that they really care about customers. In the past, we thought about customer service. Right now, we should think about customers' experience, because for your customer, dealing with you should be kind of experience, kind of pretty nice thing to do. Like you should not only deliver, but you should over-deliver. You should call them, ask them what should you add to your product, for example, in the future. Do they have any ideas, any complaints? Maybe you should send them some anniversary card. Maybe you should just send them some free additional bonus in order to make them happier than they thought they would be. So there are plenty of things that you could do in order to make the client even happier. And if you own the restaurant, for example, and if there's some kind of this problematic client, which there always are, yeah, from time to time, and the guy comes with his own hair and put it into the soup and is organizing the argument, the problem there, yeah, the scene, and he's shouting at you, how could you give me the soup with a hair? And even if you saw him putting this hair into the soup, you should tell him, I'm deeply sorry, it's not gonna repeat in the future. I would like to give you a free cake, even if internally you fight against yourself in order not to kill the guy at the place. But then you should put your professional mask on your face and tell the guy you're sorry and it's never gonna happen again. I know that it demands our self-control from time to time, but your customers should be very happy all the time, and all of them. Some still are gonna be unhappy even if you do everything for them, but some of them could be quickly neutralized, or you could switch their mood right away by being over helpful, even I would call it this way. So this is the very important stuff. When we sell books, I've got a publishing house in my country, and we produce and sell books online. Then a customer expects the book. Yeah, that's obvious. But he doesn't expect that I'm gonna send him a video of opening the champagne using the blade Really, the blade. I'm taking the blade and I open the champagne and I tell him that every time the customer buys a book from me, I open the champagne for him using the blade. The sword even, I could call it. Yeah, that was crazy to produce, but it was pretty fun to learn this art of opening the champagne with a sword, but it works. And this is over delivering, yeah, because the client awaits the book and he gets such a video, crazy video. Like the owner of this company is a crazy guy, but I like him. And then he receives also a leaflet with a hamster with our book, and the leaflet says that here you should get some motivational quote, but we didn't have time to find one, so we put the photo of a hamster eating the broccoli. And they go crazy, yeah, like, shit, what is it? What is this? And this is customer experience. We want our customers to be our friends and to treat them as we treat ourselves. Yeah, we're crazy guys doing crazy stuff. We're having fun. We're appreciating life. So why to get only on the surface and to sell the product and say goodbye? We should create those relations, have fun with clients. It's not only it's efficient, it works and it helps the company grow, because the clients come back and back and back and spend more money. But in the first place, it's just fun. It's just pure fun, because you're having fun every single day. And that's a very nice thing. That's why customer experience should be your obsession. You should think all the time how to give them more, how to make them even happier. Even if everything is perfect right now, how could it be more perfect? Although it sounds illogical, but you will find the way. And the last one, the last commandment, the 10th one, you shall invest and only then consume. If I gave you 10,000 bucks right away, right now, here and now, what would you do with it? Most of people would just spend this money right away. There's even a game. It's unofficial, so maybe you haven't heard about it, but the game is called Money is Lava. Yeah, I should avoid money. If I have money, I should do something, throw it out, spend it, do something to not have it. So the game is played by millions of people around the world. But I would like to invite you into a pretty different game called investing. So 10,000 bucks, how much would you use to buy something for yourself? To buy a phone, to buy kind of car or television set, yeah, something like this. Most of the people in the world, answering in a pretty truthful way, would just say all of it today, right now, I'm gonna buy something for me. Even if you ask someone, what if one day you will earn millions in some kind of lottery? The answer always goes like cars, houses for my family, for my daughter, for my mom, cars for them, maybe new TV set and so on. And why not to open the supermarket? Why not to open the gym? Why not to create the publishing house like it was in my case? Why not? Well, because it's investing. Investing doesn't sound like instant gratification. Yeah, investing is like I'm getting away the money. I don't have it anymore, but I don't have any prize for it. Yeah, so what? At least when I buy a new phone, I don't have money, but I have a phone. So I am happy right now because I'm addicted to the phone. So it's bigger, smoother, better, wider, whatever. But I have it. And if I invest, I don't have anything. Yeah, because my investment will, maybe it will earn money, but in the future, not tomorrow, maybe in a month, maybe in 3 months, maybe in 1 year. And I'm out of money right now. So 2 failures, I would even say, yeah. That's why it's so hard, but it's the right thing to do. And I'm gonna tell you what I would do with those 10,000 bucks. I would invest them all all, not buying anything for myself. And then, and only then, if it earns some money, like 20,000 bucks, this investment comes back with 20,000 bucks. Then I take 10,000 of it and spend, cars, phones, and so on. And the rest, so another 10,000, I will reinvest. And I will use this cycle till the end of my days. So you see that this model doesn't mean that you have to refuse having great things and appreciating life, because there are so many great things to have fun with and so on. That's right, and you will deserve them. But if you haven't deserved them, then you shouldn't buy them yet. So that's why I call it the double cycle of money. The first cycle is that when you have money, you should invest it instead of just buying yourself something or consuming it. And then in the second cycle, when and if the money comes back, then you should buy yourself something and invest more. From time to time, it means that you're not gonna buy this iPhone because you invest 10,000 bucks and it's gonna be a failure, because that's the world of investments. It's not like you always change 10,000 into 20,000. Sometimes you change 10,000 into 1,000 or into nothing, and it's gonna happen from time to time. But one day 10,000 will switch into 50,000. That's life. It's gonna happen if you invest on a daily basis. I mean, investing not like buying shares, but investing. Of course, this could also be the good idea, but investing in business will make you rich quicker. Well, shares will never make anyone rich. Shares could be used to multiply the richness, but to get rich, you need a business. So that's why you need to invest in business, and then, and only then, after it earns, you could use the money for yourself, using only a part of it, which still gonna be a good part. So those 10 commandments really work. They are not theory. They are taken from plenty of millionaires, which I personally know, and they work. I started using them myself, and they really work, and I saw the change. I also teach a lot of entrepreneurs, and when they implement those rules, those commandments, they also see the difference within weeks. So I don't even invite you to believe it only because I'm saying it, but I invite you to just try them, to just live with those 10 commandments, and you will see by yourself that they work. Some of you who are watching this video right now could even post a comment explaining their own experience. I use those rules for years and I see the huge difference. I paid all my debts, and right now I'm a happier person and everything is so easy. That's it. So be sure to like this video, share with others, with friends, and we see each other here every single week. So stay tuned for the next episodes, and I hope not only you liked it, but that it's gonna really help you to change something in your entrepreneurial life. My name is Matt Sierra, and that was Business 2.0. See you next time.